Have you ever wondered what it's like to hear voices that no one else can hear? Imagine being in a room full of people yet feeling utterly alone because you're experiencing a reality that no one else can understand. This is a glimpse into the world of schizophrenia, a severe mental disorder that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. In our society, schizophrenia is often misunderstood. It's not uncommon for people to associate schizophrenia with split or multiple personalities, but that's a misconception. Schizophrenia is not about having multiple personalities. It's a mental disorder characterized by thoughts or experiences that seem out of touch with reality, disorganized speech or behavior, and decreased participation in daily activities. People with schizophrenia may seem like they have lost touch with reality, which might frighten others and make them seem unpredictable. They might hear voices or see things that aren't there. They might believe that they're being watched, followed, or controlled, or they might sit for hours without moving or talking. But it's important to remember that these experiences are very real to them. And while these symptoms can be frightening and confusing, they're not the result of a broken or split personality. They're the result of a complex mental health disorder that affects about 1% of the population worldwide. Understanding schizophrenia is not about labeling or stigmatizing, it's about gaining insight into a condition that affects millions of people around the world. It's about fostering empathy and understanding and challenging the myths and misconceptions that surround this condition. Schizophrenia is a complex condition, and it's about time we understand it better. Over the next few scenes, we'll delve deeper into the symptoms of schizophrenia, explore its causes, and discuss the various treatments and therapies available. So stay tuned as we unravel the complexities of this mental health disorder. Remember, understanding is the first step towards acceptance and support. Schizophrenia is a complex condition, and it's about time we understand it better. So how does one recognize schizophrenia? What are its telltale signs? Schizophrenia is a mental disorder that is often misunderstood, but its symptoms can be identified, and they fall into a few broad categories. Firstly, hallucinations. This is when a person sees, hears, smells, tastes, or feels things that are not actually there. For instance, they might hear voices that others can't, see things that don't exist, or feel sensations on their skin when nothing is touching them. These experiences can be incredibly real and vivid for the person experiencing them, making them hard to distinguish from reality. Next, we have delusions. These are fixed, false beliefs that do not change, even when a person is presented with conflicting evidence. Someone with schizophrenia might believe they're being targeted by the government, that they possess extraordinary abilities, or that they're in a relationship with a celebrity, for instance. Thirdly, thought disorders. This refers to unusual or dysfunctional ways of thinking. One form is disorganized thinking, where a person has trouble organizing their thoughts or connecting them logically. They might talk in a way that's hard to understand, or their thoughts might race, making it hard to keep up with their ideas. Movement disorders might also be present. These can manifest as agitated body movements. Some people with schizophrenia might repeat certain motions over and over again. In other cases, they might become catatonic, which means they do not move or respond to others. Finally, there are what we call negative symptoms. These are associated with disruptions to normal emotions and behaviors, such as diminished feelings of pleasure in everyday life, difficulty beginning and sustaining activities, or reduced speaking. A person with schizophrenia might neglect basic personal hygiene, for instance, because they have no interest in it or lack the energy to do it. These symptoms can be very disabling, affecting every aspect of a person's life, from their relationships to their ability to study or work. It's important to remember that not everyone with schizophrenia will have all these symptoms, and their severity can vary enormously from person to person. Knowing these symptoms can be the first step towards recognizing and addressing this condition. But what causes schizophrenia? Is it genetics, environment, or something entirely different? Let's delve into that. Schizophrenia is a complex mental health disorder, and its causes are just as complex. It's not a condition that can be traced back to one single cause, but rather, it's usually the result of a combination of factors. One of these factors is genetics. If you have a relative with schizophrenia, your chances of developing the disorder are higher than someone without a familial history. However, it's important to note that not everyone with a family history of schizophrenia will develop the disorder. This suggests that while genetics play a role, they are not the sole cause. In addition to genetics, environmental factors also play a significant role. Research has shown that exposure to certain viruses or malnutrition before birth particularly during the first and second trimesters of pregnancy, may increase the risk of schizophrenia. Furthermore, psychosocial factors, such as stressful life events or childhood trauma, can also contribute to the onset of this condition. Now let's talk about brain chemistry and structure. People with schizophrenia often have differences in the structure of their brains and abnormal levels of certain chemicals, namely neurotransmitters like dopamine and glutamate. These chemicals play a crucial role in how the brain sends and receives information, and imbalances or disruptions in these chemicals can lead to the symptoms seen in schizophrenia. However, it's crucial to clarify that while these factors increase the risk, they do not guarantee the development of schizophrenia. Many people have one or more of these risk factors and do not develop the disorder. It's likely that a combination of these factors, possibly along with others we have yet to discover, contribute to the onset of schizophrenia. While we may not know the exact cause, understanding these factors can provide some clarity. It's a reminder that mental health disorders like schizophrenia are complex and multifaceted, and there's still so much we can learn about them. Complex as they may be, every piece of the puzzle brings us one step closer to understanding, treating, and hopefully preventing conditions like schizophrenia. Schizophrenia might be a lifelong battle, but it's not an unwinnable one. As we navigate through the labyrinth of schizophrenia, it's important to underscore that while there is no known cure, there are effective treatments available that can help manage symptoms, improve quality of life, and set the stage for recovery. One of the key treatment modalities for schizophrenia is antipsychotic medications. These medications are primarily designed to manage the symptoms of psychosis, such as hallucinations, delusions, and disordered thinking. They work by influencing the balance of chemicals in the brain, particularly dopamine and serotonin. It's important to understand that these medications are not a one-size-fits-all solution, and their effectiveness can vary significantly from person to person. Therefore, a tailored approach, under the guidance of a healthcare professional, is crucial to finding the right medication and dosage. In addition to medications, psychosocial treatments play an integral role in managing schizophrenia. These treatments can help individuals with schizophrenia to cope with their condition, improve their social and occupational functioning, and live independently. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, can help individuals to challenge and change unhelpful thought patterns and behaviors. Meanwhile, social skills training can equip them with the necessary tools to interact more effectively with others. Family therapy, too, can provide invaluable support by educating family members about the illness and equipping them with strategies to support their loved one. The importance of early diagnosis and treatment cannot be overstated. The sooner schizophrenia is identified and treated, the better the outcome. Early intervention can significantly improve the prognosis by mitigating the severity of symptoms, preventing relapses, and enhancing the overall functioning of those with schizophrenia. So, while schizophrenia may be a formidable adversary, it is by no means an unconquerable one. With the right treatment and support, individuals with schizophrenia can lead fulfilling and meaningful lives. Remember, schizophrenia is a part of their journey, but it does not define who they are. Their strength, resilience, and courage are what truly define them, and with the right help, they can continue to write their own story one page at a time. So, what have we learned about schizophrenia? We've journeyed through the complexities of schizophrenia, a mental disorder that often carries a heavy burden of stigma and misunderstanding. It's a disorder that's far more multifaceted than what's typically portrayed in mainstream media, and it's crucial to recognize its true nature. Schizophrenia is marked by a range of symptoms, both positive and negative. The positive symptoms, such as hallucinations and delusions, add to a person's reality, creating experiences that aren't there. The negative symptoms, on the other hand, take away from reality. These include apathy, lack of emotion, and difficulties in carrying out daily tasks. We've also explored the various causes of schizophrenia. While the exact cause remains a mystery, it's believed to be a combination of genetic, environmental, and psychological factors. This includes a history of schizophrenia in the family, exposure to viruses or malnutrition before birth, and psychosocial factors. Then, we ventured into the world of treatments and therapies. Antipsychotic medications form the cornerstone of treatment, helping to manage symptoms and prevent relapses. However, medication alone is not enough. Psychosocial treatments, including psychotherapy, social skills training, and supported employment, are vital to help individuals with schizophrenia lead fulfilling lives. But perhaps the most essential takeaway is this: understanding and empathy are key. Schizophrenia is not a choice, nor is it a reflection of a person's character. It's a disorder that affects around 1% of the population, and those living with it deserve our compassion and support. Instead of stigmatizing them, we should strive to understand their experiences and help them navigate the world in the best possible way. Schizophrenia might be complex, but with understanding and empathy, we can change the narrative around this mental disorder.